What we got here is a 1965 Martin D21, and this is a shop guitar that I picked up. I've always wanted a D21 for me, for the shop, whatever. I do not have a Brazilian rosewood guitar, and that's what this is. I also have a long history of the D21s. I've got another video on this, but I borrowed one that's a 1965 D21. I had it for 2 years, and it dramatically changed my playing. I've always been on the lookout for one. This one came up, good price. It's got a few cracks, it's got a few issues in that, but it was a price that I could actually afford, and so I snatched it up for the shop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to two other guitars. I'm going to compare it to a straight-braced D18, and I'm going to compare it to what I consider pretty much the ultimate D28, which would be the 1937 authentic. The real 1937 would be the ultimate, but I'm working with what I got here. Now I know that that those are two different guitars, and people say sometimes, oh, well, it's not a fair comparison. You should have this, this, or this to compare to. But no, that's actually the point of the comparison. Is what does a straight-braced stock D21 sound like compared to this different guitar and this different guitar. So you're going to have a 1937 authentic D28 that's got forward shifted scallop braces out around that top, 1 3/4 inch neck, hide glue, the works. That is pretty much the ultimate new D28. And then you're going to have it compared to a straight-braced D18, so that you can compare a little bit the sound of the woods. This is a straight-braced guitar here. Straight-braced, got a metal, and it does not have a T-bar in the neck. It's just got the square tubing in it. But it's a straight-braced Brazilian rosewood guitar. The difference between it and the D18, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but the main difference that you're going to have is that the 18 is a 68. It's going to have big Grover Rotomatic tuners, and for some reason the D21s all have these Clouson tuners, which I prefer. I would rather have these than the big Rotomatics. I think they were a cheaper tuner, but it's funny to me how the D21 would have cheaper tuners than the D18, But there's a few differences between the 18 and the 21. The 18 is going to have big tuners. It's going to have a big rosewood bridge plate. Those differences aside, I wish I had a 50s. No, not even that won't work. I need like a 61 D18 in here. I need one with the Clouson tuners and the small bridge plate. But when I get to that point, then I'm going to have hide glue, and that's going to be a variable. So you're not going to get a straight comparison here. But what we are comparing is, let's say I want a straight-braced guitar sound versus a scalloped forward shifted Adirondack spruce sound. How do those sounds compare? How does this D21 compare to those guitars? What you're listening for then here is not really the difference between the guitars, but the difference in the sound. Do you like the sound of this guitar, or do you like the sound of one of the other guitars? Because that'll help you find out what kind of guitar you're looking for, maybe. Okay, so here's the D21, and it is 100% stock. It's had a decent neck reset on it. The saddle's a little bit on the low side. I wish it was just a smidgen higher, but the action is nice. The neck is straight. It's otherwise stock bridge. The pins are different, but that's it. Okay? So here we go. Here's the D18 68. So it has a Brazilian rosewood fingerboard, Brazilian rosewood bridge. It has a large... Does it? Yes, it has a large bridge plate in it. It says 69, but it is Brazilian rosewood. It has a large bridge plate. It's got the big Grover tuners on it. Those two things are going to give it a little bit more sustain and a little bit more depth to the sound. Let's call it muddiness to the bass. A little less clarity than if it had lighter tuners and a smaller bridge plate. But even so, it's stock. It has straight bracing. It has all the stuff that the D21 has. So let's hear how a mahogany-bodied straight brace guitar sounds. And it also has a nice neck reset and great running condition. This is the D28 1937 Authentic, and this has been in many videos. I consider this to be the ultimate, pretty much the ultimate, new Martin D28. You know all about it. You can look up the specs. And again, I'm not comparing this straight to the D21, and I know the features are radically different on it, but that's the point, is which sound do you like better? Do you like the sound of this kind of guitar, or do you like the sound of that kind of guitar better? So, or maybe you like them both, like I do. Here we go. Alright, last guitar we're going to look at, I decided to throw this one on for the last minute, is a totally modified 1972 D18. And of course, I've had this one in other videos too. It started off as a straight brace, big rosewood, bridge plate, big Grover automatics, all that. I've done every modification that I do to them. It's got Grover 18-to-1s on here, it's got a bone nut, it's got fresh frets on it, it's got a neck reset, popsicle braces out, braces are scalloped, got a small black locust bridge plate. It has an entirely new bridge made out of grenadier wood with a long vintage saddle, 2 1/4 inch spacing. It has a pickguard from an actual 1930s D18. That's it. Yeah, that's everything. So this is a full-blown D18, modified D18 for comparison purposes.